Apologies for the delay there.
I'm staring at Redgar.
Are you ready? Just see if the hands go up or if he's good this time. For now, though, it does seem as though we are going to be good to go. So there shouldn't be any further problems. Team Secret going to be starting out on the defending side, and Gambit going to be leading in on the attack. We have had question marks with this map in the past, and we might have them again. That's going to start things off, as Dubstep looking to be the instigator here. As already going to lean down towards middle. They look a little proactive. Look at Sage over towards B long as well. We've got a little bit of movement here. I like this.
Actually, Secret giving up a lot of space on A side, so whether or not actually Dubstep will be rewarded. There's Nats removed. First piece off the board here. Actually, Shados will respond. Gambit will get the plant though. Wits here is actually going to try and get ahead of the curve here. We'll find a kill as well. Chronicle will fall.
Lovely timing with the drone coming out as well, just working in unison, and Wits is putting on a show already. Down to Defo and Redgar. Spike is down, but so is the defuse coming in halfway, now achieved. Jesse on the swing, and Redgar, he ain't got nothing to say. Team Secret are going to get pumped up, and the reason I'm excited and the reason that I'm going to push this above where I normally would, he's done well enough to do a bit of damage, but that doesn't matter. The round is theirs. Let's talk about the underdog mentality, right? Let's talk about what it's like coming in as someone who is not a favorite in a matchup. You want a good start. You want your players to instantly shake off that, right, we're on land. Now, bear in mind, though, these boys are experienced through a multitude of games, titles. They've been to land. They have been actually very high-tier players. This is not their first land, but it's their first, like, Valorant land against someone like Gambit. That's a huge shake-off of pressure.
Absolutely. On the side of Secret, I look towards Dubstep, I look towards Wits. They need to be the ones that are slippery, you know, get themselves into these one-and-done spots and you know, cause chaos, because Gambit are going to want to slow things down. They're going to want to get a really, really good read of how the land lies, but some round actually Gambit stacked up as 5. No real point of contact anywhere else on the map, and it's 3 players from Secret here ready to greet them. Again, they will pause for a moment. Defo looking for something up on Rafters. Wits entertaining it. Does take a tag, but comfortably back away now. Shadots actually will fall elsewhere.
I do like that they've kind of sat back a little bit here. They're not overly rotating. They're not getting too anxious over peeking. They're letting Gambit take a little bit of space. Dubstep does need to be careful. I'm wondering if he is tradable. He does have at least someone up top, so he can have a swing on this. Not as clean as you'd like, but does make up for it as Defo cannot get the punish. Spike goes down. Nats with 1, and now just Nats alive. So far, this is actually pretty good. Unless Nats can do some more. Not going to be the case. Jesse with a lovely little cleanup. Rifle can also be recovered, which should be, I think, on the cards at some point. And yeah, you can already see that's going to be the case.
Again, with nothing really, no indicators sent out from Gambit there. Again, they were just happy to wait to see if Secret give them anything away. And I think actually it's good to see Secret with that ability to just sit back and say, they're going to creep on us. They're going to just, it's going to be slow, it's going to be methodical. They're just going to walk towards us here. And these early rounds are for anything here from Secret, you want to see them make the most of it and almost kind of set the pace, because that's the important thing for Gambit.
I want to see if they go for not necessarily like a gamble stack or something of the such. Again, they are on that bonus round. Look at the buy. Yes, they have that rifle that they did recover, still in the hands of Dubstep, but they can go for something a little fruity here, something a little different, because again, this is going to be up against rifles. Again, light armor though, this isn't pretty for Gambit. It's been very one-sided, and we've seen a hyper-proactive Dispenser trying to push down B-Long quite often. He does have one by his side as well.
So look at this, Dubstep and Wits actually.
And look at the mid play. Look at the mid play.
Yeah, this
is so sick. I love this approach. Get proactive, get in their face. Now Nats might be the undoing of this, but he gets checked on. Dubstep with the rifle slices through Nats. They can fall away. The paranoia in Gambit's mind is going to be unbearable.
And it's things like this. If they're able to consistently address the backline of Gambit, especially with things like that, this could be interesting here. Again, Gambit on the attack. Previously, there were a lot of questions around that with some shaky performances, but I thought for the time being is the wall will be invested here on the default. Shados over the top first, but Redgar will fall.
This is damage. This is a lot of damage. It's
Dispenser's
still finding Shados. This is down to 2. Chronicle and Defo, this would be the rude awakening. This is the danger round to start with, really, but there's Defo trying to kind of keep control, the safe pair of hands, but the rifle still in Dispenser's hand. Keep that in the back of your minds. A tap on the spike brings Chronicle in for the swing. Wits finds 1. Oh my word! They've done it! They've converted the bonus with proactive play, taking space, all the things we outline, Hypok. This is like a caster's dream. I can't stress it enough. They did everything we want to see.
Absolutely, and this is the first opportunity where we see Gambit's, the strength of that default get tested. And Nats is on an island. The Secret identify that. They know exactly what they're looking for with two people walking mid off the rip. As soon as that barrier drops, Dubstep and Wits, they go through, they find all the information necessary, finding that kill on Nats and the positioning of where he is, noting that he's crouched below Bell. They know exactly where the rest of Gambit are lying.
But remember, it's not all fairy tales and happy endings. This can all still fall apart. Gambit have that depth. We've seen it before. But Secret have done everything for at least an interesting game at this point. So I'm not going to oversell you any of this. And it looks like a quick piece coming out, but look at the buy. Dubstep, though, instantly going to pop the knives, head on down towards mid-confidence, now starting to boom, and maybe not so rightly so. Defo just swats him out the air, a comfortable pickup for him there. Spike now down, and this is the rude awakening. Welcome to the Iron Giant of Gambit. They don't need the full buy right now. They're happy enough to meet you in this kind of unorthodox playstyle.
Poison's off.
So actually a couple of weird head-to-heads here. Walkoon will fall, but actually Wits gets the better of Nats up in kitchen here. Could be an opportunity. It's 2v4. Again, look for a way back in here. You're going to find Defo as well. So Shados, got to be careful. Jesse back on his feet now as well.
Yeah, but time, it's a huge factor in this. They really need to get going if they want a chance in it, and that's going to be a big denial by Shados. Now down to one. The last two do look a little weaker around the edges, but the time is everything in this matter. Spencer tries to do what he can.
Hey.
Yes, he'll clean up the frags, but the round will be Gambit's.
Everybody falls. Now Gambit with some crucial ultimate progress actually in a round like that. Again, a much quicker piece there. Gambit not afraid to just, I guess, dial right back into the next round. See here again, comfortable purchase here. Nats actually one away from the Viper's Pit, the only piece of the puzzle missing for Gambit right now in terms of ultimates. See, actually, yeah, Empress, obviously we know the Res was invested and the Blade Storm, so Dubstep now on the Operator. So again, actually an opportunity for Secret to change the pace now. Probably play things a little slower. Wait for Dubstep to make use of that purchase here. You see, actually, he's all the way backside of kitchen now, making his way towards Boiler. Whether or not he's going to pick up the slack in mid. Yeah, Walken's all the way down B lane here.
This is getting kind of dangerous. He does need to fade away from this. Wouldn't have had the advantages already. It looks like Gambit have identified this kind of B-long push that has been something that they've not necessarily lent upon, but utilized.
Well, this is the thing now. This is a much more receptive default, right? This is greeting what Secret have already shown them a couple of times. Like I said, that Operator purchase kind of changes, I think, Secret's approach to this round.
If they can get that pick on long, that does change the dynamic. But I do like the way they've kind of found at least a middle ground of, okay, I'll still take the space, be able to hear a couple of audio cues, still be able to post up on this, and actually Dispenser's look for a new way forward, and the timing's everything. If he gets it right, but it is just that 50-50 if he crests the corner at the right time, and actually, again, still being checked on, has to slip away, and Jesse's found Defo. And again, this gives away the game. They've got to know this is either a mid or an A piece because they still have that player pushed up towards B long. And this is beautiful work from Team Secret. I can't stress it enough. Nats, yes, does slip the net. He does find one, and there's still fire in the belly. But it is a 3v2. The weaponry's still superior for Gambit as well. Ult now invested too, but Dubstep finds Chronicle, and Nats now once again on the island. Gets himself a way forward, finds one, dips back in. He might have noted another. He's got to know what's going on here. Tries to go for the jump peak, needs to swing it. The swing ain't good enough. Dubstep finds him. Op still remains. Rifle recovered. This ain't bad for Secret. Let's just talk about game theory and how it kind of plays out. Is it just me who's madly impressed with Team Secret right now?
Absolutely. Like I said, and that round there, the big thing to change the pace for Secret from what we saw, Jesse with a clean little tap at
that was real nice. That was real nice.
Only just caught that one on the replay,
Absolute
but
fire.
This Operator purchase kind of changes the outlook, like I said, from the offset in this round. And Gambit, like I said, they're set up to receive some of that information to kind of greet any aggression that comes through. The Secret don't give it to him. Now, that's important here. I mean, Borken being the only one to really stray outside of that game plan, I guess, in drifting down B main, but Gambit struggling to learn anything from these early rounds, again, with the approach in general.
I think addressing this area, if you're wanting to default, is going to be paramount, but they just can't do it at the moment. This isn't the round to really do it. Maybe this is time to start investigating, try and find a little something out about this, kind of play as the pack, see if you can kind of get a feel for what Secret are up to. But as a start, I mean, we talk about what Secret needs to do to win. I mean, for Gambit, this gets kind of scary, right? Like, you've had a couple of shaky results, but you think, it's okay. When we get to the big events, we'll be fine. We've done good prep coming in, and now you set a 4-1.
We don't talk about that yet.
No, we don't talk about that yet. It's too early. It's too early. It's only round 6. Oh, now popped. Let's see. Spike is down, to be fair, for Gambit. Let's see what this retake looks like. It's nice and clean. If it gets anything done, it's taken a while to get there. Redgar waiting, gets swung out by Wits. Yeah, that was wide as you like. And here we go, looking comfortable enough on the retake. Nicely done. Yes, they lose one, but the defuse should come in. No problem. 5-1. When do we start? When do we start believing? Give me a scoreline. So I normally say double digits.
I started believing around 3 rounds ago, to be honest with you.
We're all aboard the hype train.
Again, where you look at Gambit and where they find success by obviously these early rounds and getting a good grasp on the game, right? Yep. Exploring both sides, exploring mid. You kind of see all flavors of Gambit in the first few rounds, and again, they then revert back to being very slow. Again, just in case the opposing team decides to respond with some defensive aggression. Right here, Secret in the driving seat. I haven't seen really anything from Gambit other than that eco round where it was okay. Let's rush mid. Let's hit B.
When does Gambit pull the tactical timeout? Because I don't know if they have. I think if it's not this one and they don't have an answer. Dubstep's been on the old TikTok walls again, hasn't he? Yep. He's been on it. And rinse and repeat. However, look how many players were stacked towards this A side. They have such a great read. Look at that mid presence, instantly being able to kind of keep that pressure. They read all of the tells that Gambit have. They poured every single replay. And yes, Gambit do have at least a good opportunity to get towards site, but there's 3 players back site right now. And they have, I guess, Nats again watching the flank, but they have very little idea of what's behind the curtain.
But this is the thing though, with Nats positioned here, I don't think Secret go near him again for another few rounds.
No, they don't need to.
They want to leave that paranoia. Actually, as I say that, Shados will find an opening. Jesse falls. Gambit again. We'll pause for a moment. See if there's any pivot back on the side. As Redgar finds a fantastic kill though.
That is the Gambit you need. Fight as the collective. They managed to dissemble that pretty hefty lean towards A. That was 3 players well positioned, and their patience pays off. It pays dividends. That's the experience of Gambit you want to start seeing come through. It's actually quite impressive to be able to make a play like that towards the side when there is a stack there that's fully red you pretty much. It's very well done by Gambit, showing their strength even when you feel like you know what they're up to.
I guess character-wise, this is a little more typical from what we expect from Gambit. Like I said, coming back to that methodical approach. Get up close, wait for Secret to give something away. At that point, again, it's nothing special. Find someone on the back of Redgar, pushing a little deeper with that wall. And again, crucial here in terms of now we're looking at a round deficit. Gambit keep 5 alive, decent ultimate economy behind it. I don't think Secret are going to be struggling necessarily. I think obviously the reason for the save here being Dubstep on that operator. Doesn't have the Blade Storm to ride through. Again, Borkum really, I guess other than, like I said, that split through mid towards B, Borkum not really called upon yet. He's yet to get on the scoreboard, which, again, with Gambit's focus towards A, no real surprise there. Short Mola.
We have been reading the tech pause.
I'm going to look really bad.
Why has he done that?
Now,
he's such a rat, isn't he?
I will be hunting him down.
Absolute rat. Righty, 5-1. Ignore the bit at the bottom there. That's a little bit of a debate, isn't it? Nasty. However, we are back on the way. Now, Gambit doing somewhat of a similar piece, but it looks a little bit more pacey to it.
Yeah, and you see straight away Wits is going to back away deep towards the left side of Rafters, at least looking
that's different.
Up. Dubstep will find this pick again.
But Nats was... Wait, he was a bit more proactive this time. Nats was a little...
Tube with this wall once again.
Wow, okay, this is where things go different because Nats was pretty much the saving grace of the back line. However, this time, Team Secret hit these rotations a little bit better, a little bit quicker, a little bit more prepared. And Gambit are in pieces at 6-1.
Wow, I mean, that was, again, a big pace change from Gambit. Similar sort of execution. Dubstep once again, though. You can see on the minimap just there, I know it was off screen, but when that pick comes through, Nats is just on the left side of those barrels. I think he's not, again, without Gambit kind of addressing mid, they haven't seen really the 2 or 3 looks that Dubstep's maybe going to come. Again, all these new angles need to be re-explored every time they go somewhere else. And right there, Nats is punished for it. And I got to say right there, I think that's probably the catalyst for Gambit to try and force the issue on A, but it doesn't work for them.
Now, the buy is shoddy, but last time they had that really aggressive mid burst come out and they kind of like cut through under tube and hit that B site, which again a similar look, and if they're aware of these half buy plays, they should be aware of this. However, Redgar does at least get one, so that's going to be entryway towards that B site. Now there are two players who are pushed up though towards B long, so this isn't clean. This is a really weird fight to be having. Nats with the overwhelm though is good enough to at least shut down a Spencer that's now puts okay, no pressure on dubstep apparently. There we go, lovely stuff from Gambit. That's what you want to see. Keep it a little safe, keep it a little bit under wraps. But this is the round that they won before, basically.
There's actually Spike making his way all the way over towards A here. Bit of a ruse. Jesse still towards B site, and now Nats and Defo will peel away. Now the important thing is, again, just at the start of this round here, it's kind of the checklist. It's the protocols you look towards for Secret. Again, Jesse joining up. He's there to catch anything coming through mid, and Defo actually ultimately hopping up on top of Tube. Now the problem being, previously with this split, it was a very fast round from Gambit. I want him out of that drone quicker. Again, you can see Redgar finds that opener. What's the value in finding the second tag, right? You're confirming what you already know, which is there's one top tube. By that point, they're already under. So that's something I want to see Secret address, but it's good to see Jesse in a similar position, and again, running those same kind of disciplined protocols I'm referring to.
It's not out of it yet. It is a 1v3, and they've got some upgrades. Nats with the big one. First contact made, still a player towards the site though, and now we found Shados. Gets at least the rifle as well. Look and see if Defo gets anything. Just a spectacle where we didn't get any of the other rifles. That aside though, we've seen Gambit convert these. Now, the bigger thing for me is, as much as we have looked at that and gone, okay, well, Secret can adjust this way, or we prefer to see them like that, how does Gambit then bring that into a gun round? Because I feel like we haven't seen that style really brought through here.
We don't see that pace from Gambit unless they run Inspectors and Sheriffs, or Defo's got the Blade Storm, he's got the Marshal, or something like that. So it's interesting, and again, I think it relies on Secret in terms of these kind of early round objectives. First time we're actually seeing the double up here of Dubstep and Wits over towards A. And the first time we're seeing them actually get a little bit aggressive. One towards Bell, one on Pipes. They're looking for this early pick now. Nats will be called upon.
But he's meant to be made for this, right? But they've read him so well!
Like a book. Like a book.
They bought the limited edition, the collector's edition. They got all the artwork and everything, mate. They've got it all. But this isn't enough. They now know everything. Oh, it's all been given away!
No way.
Team Secret! They have read every single secret the Gambit may think they have. Any card up the sleeve has been ripped down, as now Defo and Chronicle like, wait, what? We were holding a default and now we're just getting wrapped in on as well. The book's being shut. This round's done for. I am taken aback by Team Secret right now.
It is, and the problem is that every round looks like a new set of obstacles for Gambit to overcome.
Yes.
This is the first time Borkum's been called upon on B main. When he goes huge, he slips underneath the drone there and was rewarded with 2 kills on Chronicle, 1 consolation, but Dubstep again. And look at it, 4 survive. Look at the ultimates back online for Secret here. Again, I mean, we talked about it 3 rounds ago. Now I'm even more worried, right? We're back again at a 5-round deficit, and I gotta say, in terms of Gambit, they're unable to kind of just get a firm grip on the early round. Everything they're trying to do, Secret have a different look to show. And
they're a step ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like everything Secret does is tailor-made to absolutely destroy Gambit from within. Okay, well, let's leave Nats then just kind of solo hold towards that A side. First time we see him push out, and you saw how ready they were for that little bit of a step up, and there it is. We were asking, right, when is that timeout coming in? Because right now, Team Secret are playing chess and Gambit are playing checkers, as every play-by-play commentator loves to say. But the point is that this has pushed Gambit, and if I'm Gambit, I'm a little shook.
I mean, we actually touched this again previously. Champions, target on your back. There's that kind of preparation factor. Everybody's looking at you, what you're going to do. But, I mean, you've got to then question the Gambit come into this thinking, have they done a massive amount of research into Team Secret? And actually...
He ain't a happy bunny,
no,
is he?
It's not. And again, actually, I was talking to Dash before we had one of the interviews where it's actually they haven't been happy with their preparation overall. So, again, you think about one of those kind of anomaly teams, the kind of unknown entity, and Team Secret I think is a perfect example right there. You haven't really got any international footage to go over. The data sample a little bit questionable, because you can talk about the meta within that region and the differences and viability coming across to a different pool of teams. Right here, I mean, the best thing for Secret to do would have been to get off to a good start. They've done absolutely that. Gambit now have to recover. It's almost salvage mode.
It is. And they're going to have to salvage it with a broken economy and probably some tilted players, I'm not going to lie to you. Because mentally you come into this going, okay, well, I expect a good game, but I don't expect to be 7-2 down, right? Like, that's... Look, we say it time and time again, the crown is definitely a heavy burden, but right now it's being just taken away from Gambit. So many teams prior have fallen somewhat like this, though. You look at, I guess Sentinels is the prime example, something like Heretics, you look across the regions. However, for now, it looks like a quicker lean towards that A site. And once again, a great deal of Secret's players are here on that other side. 3, heavy lean, mid take, ultimate down. Defo with a quick dismantling though, as 2 fall in back-to-back succession, as Dispenser is now needed. And Shados with a re-peek on that. They look, I'm gonna be honest, they look pissed at this. They look angry.
These are tilt peaks. These are kind of, that arrogance kind of comes into it in terms of the playstyle here. Upstep, operator on rafters. Trying to swing out here, Shados again. Still trying to apply the pressure here. We'll find Jesse. 3 members left of Secret here, and that's 2 snake bites, but actually Defo will fall here. Shados again will find another. See Nats up there on the X-ray, and now I think Gambit going to try and slow things down, but Shados now is 4th on the round, Lauren. Dubstep, have to consider saving that operator, but Shados close enough. It could be the ace here. It could be absolutely what the doctor ordered for Gambit. A more comfortable round, but again, nothing special on the way in there. It's almost like we're walking at you. We're walking at you with a drone. There's a recon. Shados is going to walk forward, and a couple of over peaks, actually, you could argue.
As someone who enjoys Gambit's playstyle, I wish this wasn't an ace that got them the round under the belt. Because how do you address it then going forward? Oh, just do that again.
Yeah. Shados, do you want to walk into A again?
Just ace?
Yeah.
Like, if it gets your players pumped up, if it gets their mentality back, absolutely. But from a tactical aspect, how do you now find repetition in that sort of success? But it is 7-3, and there's been a little bit of a lifeline given across.
Look at the difference now, though. Gambit stacked up as 5. It's
they found one thing that works.
Let's swing up belt. Let's see if we can do that again.
They have had success in doing this, but I want to see a quicker address on it, or they play on a heavier retake. Playing in like that towards Gambit is going to give them the gateway to open up to the kingdom. Chronicle with a quick one towards Dubstep as well. This is looking very likely as Shados is going to be feeling confident enough to lean a bit further forward, make those audio cues and then fall away just a touch. Spike going to be planted, and now down to 3 to try and play it back in.
So yeah, really, if Secret want to entertain this at all, you see Borkum's recovered that operator. I think, yeah, with what we're seeing on the minimap, looking like they might want to retreat away from this. And again, if we can just play back that clip from the Gambit timeout, I think this is the byproduct, right? It's like, guys, get your head in the game.
What are you doing?
Come on, what are you doing? Now, whether or not we see them just lean towards this now, because you've got to expect some sort of adjustment for Secret. Well,
they're really chasing
Borkum's are way closer than you'd hope, actually. Somebody trying to hold on to his operator, but he's not checked upon.
Hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Genius.
But this is where you expect now Secret. They're the ones that the ball's back in their court, right? They have to address something. If Gambit stack up with 5 again outside A and they just walk onto site, actually you look at it now, 7-5, except for how this half has gone, you got to put that as a massive win for Gambit with how this was looking before that timeout.
Yeah. But that's under the assumption that you kind of treat these as 2 equal teams. One of them was a victor of literally one of the last major events. Is this really a good half? I don't know. I mean, that's going to be the thing. Yeah, 7-5 and 8-4 does feel a world apart, but however, they have finally broken a little of the money that was built up by Secret, but I want to see what's addressed here because it's rinse and repeat. Gambit finds the one trick that works here, but Dubstep is called upon this, and he actually falls away, though. Overstay, tries to deal with the drone. What do you do about this one now, mate? Because you do have a whole lot of pressure coming your way. You're going to get out of dodge. Probably the right idea, but a slower enough pace for now. That presence might have hindered a little bit that early explosive play from Shados.
You say the right decision, but it's almost cost Gambit nothing to force that player out of sight here. And again, without Dubstep exploring mid, going elsewhere, and again, a lot of things that we credited Secret for previously. Now look at it. We're up to a minute. All 5 members of Gambit towards A. You still got Borkum considering the possibility of a lurk, and actually Dispenser tucked down just at the end of Tube. But again, potentially it's a 5v2 here on A side.
Confirmation all they've really had is Chronicle and I guess Shados in that regard. Now with the ult invested, that does change the dynamic. They need to kind of invest in this, and that's maybe what they have! Oh, Dubstep from up above! rains hell upon Defo, and now the spike's been denied, at least for the plant. Dispenser plays back in, and they've come and found the pace they needed. Wits holds his nerve, and it's Chronicle all down to you now. What are you doing for us? Ooh. There's fire in Gambit, but Team Secret, they lead on the
Switching sides.
Which isn't a conversation I thought we'd be having, Lauren. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, this is wild. It's 8-4. I need to catch my breath. Desk, what are your thoughts?
Thank you very much, Pansy. Hypox said it best, not a conversation we thought we'd be having, but here we are. We have to have it. It's Team Secret who's up 8-4 off of the first half here on Icebox. Jess, I'll come to you first, though, because you were the one who called out the few reasons why maybe you take Gambit to Icebox, and Team Secret comes up big with the pistol and throwing a few more rounds quickly after that.
You know what? The first couple of rounds, I can buy them winning them. Like, you know what? Yeah, pistol, okay, etc. Then the third round, I'm like, Gambit's got this. They've got the weaponry they need for this. No, they don't. They also don't have the mental weaponry they needed for that. Did you hear the Team Secret boys? I mean, those of you who are at home might not get the full veracity of the boys sitting on the Team Secret side, but they are loud, they're having fun, and that is a tilter if I'm sitting across the room.
Holy Dispenser, 14-5. This was the player that, like, again, you're sort of comparing him and mostly playing that sensible roll up against Nats. It's more against Red Guy in that Sage position, being able to sort of shut stuff off for the most part. The problem for me for Gambit, though, we saw attack pause, we saw them come back in the last few rounds, but I'm pretty sure the call from Eng was just keep going A, just 5-stack. Like, the default wasn't working. And there also might be an element of don't show too much. We should be able to just diff these teams anyway because we're Gambit. So maybe that's why they started to just deathball it a little bit onto that A side.
Right, they got the one-round win on B early in the half, and then from there it just seemed like we got to take the op shots, we got to take the peaks and hope to win the gunfights. But that's not a super, affirming thing to see out of your tournament favorite, or one of the tournament favorites.
You know what? If I was a coach right now, I would have sat there and gone through that VOD if that had been the most recent Icebox VOD, and I'm counter-stratting Gambit, and I'm sitting there going, all they could do is hold hands, run into A, and hope that their utility and gun power is going to overwhelm Team Secret. That is the only thing that has worked. Imagine you're a team and your one adaptation is to just do that. I mean, there's got to be more in the book here for Gambit.
Yeah, it's only one half. There's still a lot of runway to go. They were able to, kind of scrape it back to 8-4, and it was Shados coming up with that ace. I'm glad we called him out in the pre-match there as being an integral member to this team's success. But again, there are a lot of questions now that continue to be raised about this Gambit squad as Team Secret really brings it here in the first half of Icebox. With that, Pansy, I hope you got that breath you needed, because we're tossing it straight back to you to dive right in.
Just about. I mean, 8-4. I'm not gonna. I don't know when I can start believing. I've been beaten too much by, like, I don't know, Reddit, Twitch chat. I don't know where it's come from. I mean, I'm nervous to believe, Hypot.
People call us regionally biased, but actually we're the ones that have been disappointed the most within our region in terms of expectations.
All right. Well, look, the expectation, I don't know, managed or not, it's Wits to start it off with a bang. Already going to get that first pick, and that's going to be Shados. Pretty much dealt with him. What a player to find.
Especially with the last few rounds he had on attack as well. Dispenser actually going to throw up the wall here. It's going to split Defo away. Ooh! Again, actually, Defo finds both here. Find a third. He's going to re-explore towards B main. Actually will find it.
Yeah, this man's on a mission, and if it ain't going to be Shados, it'll be him. Defo's still going to be doing what he can. He's got the boys by his side. Do they overdo this? No, not for now. It is just dubstep. Left in, what, a 1v3. Spike down, basically, in Narnia. He's going to have to find a wardrobe to just jump through or something at this point. And already the owl drone. Can he dip around it? Let's see if he can do some dodge. Yes, beautiful. Oh. There we go. It was a lovely attempt. And now there's a whole lot of players looking your way. Gambit strike back hard in the first round, thanks to pretty much one man at the very beginning there.
Again here, I think it's difficult for Secret to, with how those last few rounds went, it's difficult for Secret to kind of, I guess, have expectations of how Gambit are going to approach the first few rounds here, but in my eyes, I'm looking towards Gambit to not necessarily be aggressive, at least be proactive, right? Be ready to stand toe-to-toe with Secret if they do try and play pretty aggressively here. Actually, just seeing Dubstep will throw something in here. Wits for the shot. Sheriff as well, sorry. Two members once again from Gambit. Now, it's important for me, again, to see a team on attack, on Icebox in particular, address B in these early rounds, right? At least plant the seeds that Yeah, don't leave open. Don't leave one player out on B site on an island. So at least a good indication here from Secret. Whether or not they can get anything done, we'll have to wait and see.
If anything, I do think we can walk away with this saying I like the theory crafting that Secret come in with. Their approach is actually quite nice, well-rounded. However, Gambit look fired up. They're starting to find a little bit more to bring to the plate already, though. It's going to be Defo and Shados. Shados gets that first contact, going to confirm attendance. Defo catches dubstep, and this is going to be comfortable for them so far. Bear in mind, it's classics, and I think maybe a Sheriff and a Marshall is it, so nothing too much to worry about. Gambit, though, will be happy with this, as this should be time for them to just close that gap. Get back in the game, start feeling the game out. You don't have to rush it, but you do want to close that gap.
Absolutely, and these are the ones that ultimately want to make it comfortable.
Taken out.
Not so comfortable, but it will only be one more, and that's will fall, but 3 stand for Gambit. Defo, decent progress already towards that blade. Some of them are going to see a play towards that A orb. Get that online here, potentially throw the Bulldog across. It looks like he's considering that. But a nice round from him nonetheless.
And Defo's coming in pretty nice at this point, actually. A couple of rounds, right?
Yeah, and again, another player that I think we've seen a stark contrast online versus LAN. Masters Berlin.
Absolutely.
He was insane. I think
look,
actually,
I was a doubter. I'm going to be honest.
I was probably his biggest critic in terms of their online performances, but absolutely squashed that last time.
Yep.
So Gambit try and ride through here.
Heck, this is dangerous. Nats gets beheaded, and now they could springboard off this, but they actually don't. They hit the brakes for a second. I think they identified a second, which would have been Redgar, who's going to slip away towards a deeper part of that B site.
Interesting, actually, the orb wasn't retrieved from A before Defo and Shados hit this rotation, so cautious that Secret were spread a little thin here, but dubstep find Redgar as well. Again, at this point, just look for Gambit to do some damage. Remove some of these weapons.
It's all rifles. If they can do something to do that, that'd be pretty dreamy at this point. Obviously, you're looking for normally like 3 to kind of force that reinvestment to be a little bit more labored. But at this point, you'll take anything you can get. For now, a tap on the spike is the beginner. No one massively swinging off the back. They can kind of maybe hazard a guess that it's not going to be stuck at this point. Dubstep waits. There it is. There's one in unison with the other. Maybe didn't need that overstep there, but it will be 4 alive. Spike down. 1 rifle lost, but it's not the end of the world as Dubstep's pretty close to the blade storm anyway, so he's going to be building that money through.
And another round where I think it's going to keep Gambit in check on B, right? Nat's picked off pretty much off the rip there. Redgar a little bit split from him, whether or not they both want to kind of challenge B main with that utility dump at the start, but again, it's these early rounds where you've got to plant the seed that you can't lean towards A unless you find that information. Like I said, what I was crediting Secret for in the early rounds of their defense, you know, dubstep swinging up on the top of the tube. Yeah. Again, just taking a peek to see the setup. Scratching the surface at least.
And here we go. This is the round that really can kind of set things off, and Defo's going to do it well. Going to find dubstep and then fall back, force the res. And already they're still trying to work forward on the Shados as well. Right there, he's not backing away. He is not being passive on this. He wants the fight, and they're going to just falter for a second. Takes one, backs it, but it's Wits with the trade. That's now up, lost in the site as well. Shados, he's actually going to spin up towards heaven. He wants to get there quick, but there's a player lingering just down below. Going to take that space and take site control. Spike should be able to be planted. I don't think anything's going to deny that now.
Spike planted.
And now we're in the post plant.
Actually, you got 2 members of Gambit actually walking towards the back lines here. Redgar and Nats potentially challenge Dubstep in his position, but he finds the first headshot now. Redgar solo HP.
Look at the damage on him. Dubstep did so much on the first peak. The second almost felt like a given. Shados and Chronicles 5 HP. Get out of there. You know you're going to have to. 5 HP is not enough to be lingering around on you. You want to keep these rifles. You want to give yourself the best chance going forward. He needs to quietly back away to not give away audio cues or anything else. But, well, can we just take a second to appreciate this? Team Secret just went, do you remember those A hits you were doing to us? Mate, we can do them too. Yeah. That's crazy.
And the difference being, again, it's that double duelist setup on the side of Gambit, so it's...
Wait, they've lost both the rifles.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's getting a little awkward in here. I'm
we
going
got
to be
double
honest.
digits. All right, it's time to believe.
The big thing here, again, that double duelist setup, they have to find first blood, right? They have to take first contact. They find it with the operator there. In a round like this, again, you can't really argue that the Secret can repeat this over and over because they had the res here. They forced Defo off that initial angle, right? Which is the scariest in any round.
That is.
In any round, it's where's that operator? You find it, okay, cool. The emphasis then becomes on where's Shados playing. Because actually, 4 people swing on Shados. Defo's only good for 1 trade, right? He can become overwhelmed.
Another timeout. Second now brought in here.
Can we cut to a coach cam real quick, actually?
Yeah,
I want
please, because that man is going to be sweating bullets at the moment. Because how do you address this, though? Because they've now found it so hard. Like, what? Even in the prior time when we were looking at it on the flip side, right, when Gambit were running those hits, it's hard to kind of address that, right?
And I got to say as well, the only real misstep I've seen on the side of Gambit was that Nat's first blood. Secret are just playing this right.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've approached absolutely every single one of these rounds. Again, you could argue the first with dubstep being a little disconnected, maybe the one to try and sell something on a site in that pistol, but everything else, Secret, like I said, they've been the ones to set the precedent, be in the driving seat, and Gambit unable to respond.
Oh, here we go. Could it be the day of upsets, right? Because if you look at the matches, and you know what?
I don't want to talk about upsets when I look at the rest of the day.
No. I
don't want to talk about that.
Look. I was a little, I don't know. Maybe I was not believing, right? I think Bren was like, which upset's going to happen? The Gambit one. Yeah, I think Sentinels. Yeah, I think Liquid, right? You got a couple of big dogs today against arguably underdogs, right? Yeah.
It's an interesting day, but I think it's the potential to have the most upsets.
All right, and off the rip already, Gambit going to try and get a little proactive here, see if they can do something about this. But look who's waiting on the other side. Here's the firing squad. Defo up above, going to get one, dips away. No more coming through, though. No one's been able to capitalize with him. This is all one side, and it's all going by the wayside as Nats now, the overnight superstar, is going to have to back away and readdress because this is going to be 11 no matter which way you want to cut it.
Again, take from this round what you will, but this is when I start getting kind of frustrated watching Gambit because this isn't their comfort zone, right?
Nope.
Again, whether this is just a push Secret, keep them a little bit more honest in the early round. Entirely sure, but Nats won't even find another one. 4 survive. Secret now 11 rounds. Gambit on 6. Things I thought I'd never say. I'm here for it though.
Oh no, we're living.
Secret are, like I said, they're leaving an impression already. Like I said, even if they don't come away and win this series already, there are so many positives to take away from this.
It's truly, as much as saying, it's like at the start we were saying, fairy tales don't always come true. We love the idea of it. The underdog comes in, makes this huge impression, but it doesn't always work out. But they've actually done it.
Don't ask me about the veto. Let's just...
let's get back to it. 11-6, we are right back into this, and Jesse is about to try and take on the likes of Shados, who's just been trying to play this corner. We've seen hot and cold performances from him already. Sometimes maybe a little over peak, maybe a little bit too overzealous, but right now he is needed.
But again, though, the adjustment here, Redgar's here to kind of slow down these hits from Secret, but it's not going to do anything. No, Shados and Redgar fall immediately.
Michael, what are you doing? Oh, okay, he's doing that. Takes one and now slips away into the night. Tries to back away and not overstep. I got a little worried if he was on his own trying to make moves, but the spike's going down. Can't deny it. And now into the post plant 3v3.
Spencer here, have a little peek through, and actually we'll find it. Secret are just hitting everything right now. Therefore, on the way back in, we'll find Wits. 2v2 presented here.
Nats on the drop down, clears below, but not completely. Does find Spencer, tries to find the next step, but Jesse playing to just deny this step out. Does spot at least one. Finds Defo now knows what's up. Again, get your gun out, Jesse. Here we go. It's 12 on the board. Team Secret tearing down Gambit. I'm ready. I'm all aboard the Team Secret train. Let's get going. Dubstep, Dispenser. They've all played their game perfectly. I can't actually question what they're doing here.
You can't, and actually on the flip side of that, like I said, Gambit, they make this adjustment here. They try and send Redgar over, swapping out Defo towards B, potentially towards mid elsewhere. Jesse comes up huge to the Red Bull clutch, but I mean, Gambit, like I said, they're struggling to respond, and it's not as if they're bone idle, they're trying things.
Look at the buy, it's absolute garbage, and already it's going to be Chronicle now lost, down to 4 standing, and Gambit are going to be in pieces after this. This is a group stage. This was meant to be maybe a little difficult, maybe a couple of rounds, but you weren't meant to be.
This is supposed to be.
a little lead on, and look at this approach. Look at what we're seeing coming out of Secret. It's passive, it's patient, and it's a slow build towards A, but look at the rest. They are literally doing a Nats.
Dare I say, they're doing what Gambit do best.
This is literally what I have seen. We've time and time again, we have seen this sort of thing.
And look at it, Gambit, almost about to entertain it. You can see Redgar gets curious in mid. Secret will stack up now. Leave Dubstep a little disconnected. Actually, looks like he will regroup. I thought potential for him to go down mid, but B-side wide open right now. No Viper utility committed on the side of Borkum, so they have the opportunity here. This cut and dry piece towards B. Nat's still alive, one away from the Viper's pit now. Reactionary ultimate potential here if he can find this first kill.
30 seconds left.
See here if he's checked upon.
Welcome to my world.
Fight invested. Shados on top, gets a fight, loses it. Dubstep gets him. We're down to 3. Spike goes in. First fight comes out. Nat's going to pick up the pace. Going to pick up 2 bodies on the way as well, but loses his life. Rez now invested as well, coming out from Dispenser. Going to get that Viper back on their feet, but now we do have a little bit of a scrappy battle, to say the least. Defo and Redgar, what can you do, though, to break those back lines, to get back into this one? That Spike is ticking away as Redgar going to lean a little further forward. Does isolate Dispenser, forces the swing out of 1. Trade comes out. It's going to be down to just Jesse again, up against Defo. But the Spike, the time is still so favorable here towards Secret. Time being bought. Players being toyed with. Jesse, all he's got to do is play this correctly. Backs away, buys some time. He's breaking Defo's heart. He can't do anything about it. He knows it's done. Give it up. Game 1, map 1. Team Secret off to an incredible start.
I'm at a loss here for words. Going to try and get ahead of the curve here. We'll find a kill as well.